everyone, and welcome back to another Artifact Corner. Today we will be looking at this beautiful late 18th century waistcoat that was owned by Joseph Webb Jr. Joseph was the father of Henry Webb, who married our Frances Henrietta, and that's why we have this piece in our collections. The hand embroidery on this piece is very typical of men's 18th century fashion and is incredibly beautiful. Let's learn a bit more about men's fashions in the 18th century. At the beginning of the 18th century, men's fashions were still following the traditions of the previous century. Here is an excerpt from the Fashion Institute of Technology's Fashion History Timeline. The T-shaped white linen shirt was the primary undergarment for men, and its cut remained the same throughout the 18th century. Made from a full selvage width of fabric with a keyhole shape cut out for the head, rectangular pieces added to create the lower sleeves, and a separate band, collar, and cuffs. The mid-thigh-length shirt might be finished with a center front frill and cuffs of sheer muslin or lace. Coats reached just below the knee, almost completely concealing the full-cut breeches. The excess fullness at the sides, which would increase between 1700 and about 1745, began to be set into pleats at this time. Like its 17th century predecessor, the early 18th century waistcoat was similar in construction to the coat, but it had closer fitting sleeves, less fullness in the skirt, and it was several inches shorter than the coat, ending just above the knee. The custom among wealthy men was to possess wigs in different styles, intended for both formal and informal occasions. These indispensable accessories that signified male authority and dignity were costly. The most expensive were of human hair, but horsehair and goat's hair were also used. In 1705, a full-bottomed wig, undoubtedly of human hair, was valued at £22, which in today's money is about £1,675. Men wore stockings normally dyed to match the color of their breeches. Men's shoes were leather with a stacked heel. By the mid-18th century, men's attire had shifted. Men's three-piece suits comprised of a collarless coat, thigh-length waistcoat, and breeches constituted the essential component of a fashionable wardrobe. All matching suits were still considered to be the most elegant and would have been expected for court and/or formal wear. From the end of the 1740s, the suit could be made of 3 different colors and materials, or the coat and breeches might be of the same color and material worn with a contrasting waistcoat. During the mid-18th century, vogue for exotic imported goods and the influence of Eastern dress are evident in men's silk or cotton morning gowns or banyans that could be either loose-fitting, T-shaped garments inspired by the Japanese kimono, or more fitted to the body with double-breasted closures. At the end of the 18th century, 3-piece suits comprising single or double-breasted coats with standing or turned-down collars, the latter known as a frock, fitted closely to the body with long, tight sleeves and cutaway fronts. Single or double-breasted waistcoats cut straight across and slim breeches were in vogue. In addition to solid-colored, often dark wools, striped silks were popular for men as well as women. High-starched collars were worn with cravats in varying colors. High leather riding boots became very fashionable. The proclivity for wearing powdered wigs was also beginning to diminish. Men began to now wear their hair cut short, and wigs for men slowly went out of fashion throughout the 19th century. Our waistcoat is in good condition, and the embroidery is just stunning. It is a really beautiful textile and a wonderful example of late 18th century men's fashion, and we are so lucky to have it in our collections. Thanks so much for stopping by. And don't forget, kids, piecing is period.